There is a transportation crisis. This year, 1,500 companies have already closed in the first quarter. The cost of such a service, so that the vehicle is ready to go, is close to 20,000 zlotys. Things that take 3 days at other service centers, we can handle in 1 day. Working from 8 to 4, we won't grow the company. If you haven't been in this for years, it's hard to get into all of it. Going on any forums or YouTube, you won't find any information. If an independent mechanic comes in, he can even earn up to...
But on Do Roboty, we showed what a truck driver's job looks like, but this kind of equipment also needs to be serviced. So today I've got you, Janka. Welcome. Hi. Truck chip tuning service, that's what we'll talk about today. What's the plan of action?
Here we have a DAF 460, a 13-liter engine. We're working on the fuel system, injectors, supply pump, and also the DPF filter. Next we have a Volvo, also a 13-liter engine, and the fuel system as well, which is our specialty. Here, it's really about oil service. We're about to change the filters and drain the oil. What kind of filter is this? This is an air filter. In a passenger car, it's easily 1/3 smaller. We also have a MAN, which will be inspected from A to Z, from bumper to bumper. We've got it covered.
I see there's a lot to do. I haven't worked on equipment like this before, mechanically speaking, so this episode will be interesting. Stay until the end and we'll get started.
That's right.
I'm already putting on my gloves, we're getting to work, but before that, let me tell you about the partner of our episode, which is FirmoAPL. If you have a passion or hobby, maybe related to automotive, and you'd like to start your own business, FirmoAPL will make it easier for you from home with an interactive assistant or accountant. If you go to the firmo.pl website and register your business with the code KSDROBOTY, you'll also get an additional 500 PLN for online shopping. So in the description you have a special link, you click it and register your business. So what are you waiting for? Get to work, I will too. What will the work look like here?
Now the guys are putting them into the injectors, so grab the lower handle here and hand them over one by one. Starting from the first one, we put them all into the injectors, then the guys hammer them in. Before starting up, we program them, so you'll be doing that soon too. Unfortunately, the quality of the parts is very poor right now. Biofuel components, you see, not only cause corrosion, but they also clog up the injectors. Here we have a new injector, here we have an old one. These are the rockers. Thanks to them, the valves can work, because they hit like this here. And that's exactly how it works. First we remove the rockers, then we take out the injectors, and then we put them back in the reverse order. The supply pump has already been replaced. It's made of aluminum, it produces shavings, so it's a shame to let such a mess go into the new injectors. It also needs to be replaced.
And that's what you specialize in, right? So does it work like you replace this all the time in these trucks? Is there some kind of mileage limit, or do you just wait until it breaks?
Honestly, it's until it breaks. In older trucks, they used to run on the original injectors for over 1 million kilometers. But now, at 100,000, authorized service centers are already replacing them as a set. There's no such thing as reliability anymore, and it doesn't matter if it's a premium truck brand or a cheaper one, it makes no difference. Everything breaks down.
Okay, so on one hand it's tough for transport companies, but on the other hand, it's good for your business because as I can see, the whole place is filled with trucks and there's a line waiting.
Yes, our lines are really long because sometimes the wait can be up to 2 months. We are experts in fuel systems. That's why trucks from all over Poland and even from different parts of Europe typically come to us. We put in those injectors in
The cylinder head, so what's next?
Now comes the bleeding process, a crucial step, since air in the system will prevent the car from starting. Here you have the pump. You have to keep pumping continuously, because otherwise the fuel will start to flow back, and when you see it coming out here, you tighten it. And that's basically the whole procedure, okay?
So I'll bleed it myself. And my question is, how did this company get started? You're quite a young guy, so I assume you didn't start this business yourself. How does it all work here?
My dad started the whole business. Our company was founded 13 years ago, so it's really been a long time. But generally, we have experience in the automotive industry. My dad has over 27 years of experience. I already have over 7, but I rely on his experience and try not to make mistakes, just learn from his mistakes, okay?
But did it start like, I don't know, was he a truck driver? Did he drive? Or has mechanics always been the main thing here?
Basically, my dad started out working on bicycles, then moved on to cars, then vans, and finally stayed with trucks because of accessibility and different margins.
So what? Is it basically better pay for the same kind of mechanic work, or how does it work?
Yes, definitely. Working on trucks is more profitable economically. And above all, you don't have to work as hard as you do on cars.
So why, on the other hand, I don't know. I don't really know that many truck service shops. Maybe it's because I don't drive a truck, right? But as you say, first of all, you are, let's say, the best in Poland when it comes to injectors. You are visible online because that's also where I found you. Are there fewer truck service shops now, or what's it like from a business standpoint?
There's a shortage of skilled mechanics. It's quite a closed business, so people don't really want to share that knowledge. And if you haven't been in it for many years, it's hard to get into all of this. There's a lot of information online about passenger cars since people work on them themselves. Most have garages to fix things, but that's not an option with trucks. You won't find any information on forums or YouTube.
And on the other hand, when a truck comes in, there's not as much time for service either, because it has to keep running, working, and making money, right?
With us, the biggest advantage that customers mention is punctuality. The vehicle arrives at 7 o'clock and leaves at 5 o'clock, so there's no downtime. When a truck sits idle, it loses money, but you still have to pay salaries and other costs.
But you also do things like replacing an engine block or anything else that could take a week or two.
Since we started specializing in fuel systems and became very active online, we stopped doing jobs like engine repairs or major gearbox overhauls, because with the amount of work we have, we can't afford to have a workstation occupied for a week or even 3 days.
Okay, so your business model is quick jobs, quick turnaround, quick money, because that's what you're good at.
Exactly, that's what we know best. And fuel systems are simply our specialty.
And that's also great. That's something I always notice and tell my viewers, to narrow down, to focus their interests and capabilities on something specific. Not repairs of everything, but for example, repairs of focus on bathrooms, just wallpapering, tiling, or ceramics to become a true specialist, like you did with injectors. Then half of Poland will come to you, right?
Exactly. I see that the system is already bled. At least that's what I think. In that case, in a moment we'll be putting the rocker assemblies on, adjusting the valves, and then we close up the engine and start it, and off to the register, and off to the register. Thank you.
We'll tighten it up.
We have the engine set to 2 and 5, so we're checking which valve is rocking, the second or the fifth. There's some play here, so we're adjusting the valves. Intake at 0.5, 0 exhaust at 0.70. This is really a truly surgical job, so we insert it and it's clearly too tight. It should move smoothly. That's why now, like this, I'm putting the Allen key in here. You loosen it that way. Yes, firmly, firmly. More. Okay. Now I'm loosening the valve, adjusting it so that it's already done. Just some finishing touches. Right. The feeler gauge dragged slightly, but as you can see, it moved smoothly. And now you tighten it. It's perfect. The feeler gauge moves smoothly, just as it should. Now we'll adjust the exhaust and it's the same situation. The valve is too tight, and something like this can even risk burning the valve, which could cause the engine to stop.
You said that knowledge about trucks is less accessible, so where do you get it from, or how do you supplement it to know something about new developments and technology?
Dad worked for many years in authorized service centers, where he had access to more knowledge. I learned from him, and at the same time, we keep training ourselves regularly. We have various trips, whether in Poland or abroad, and we stay up to date with all the latest news.
So it's not easy, but you can still gain knowledge after all? Yes. But he really hit hard.
Whew, his hand is like a hammer.
Right. It was even worse for me on this side.
My hand is worse.
I just had bad access.
All right, let's tighten it. Sometimes the valves tighten up. Unfortunately, it's fantastic, it's perfect. Now the person below is turning the engine.
And there's someone standing there all the time. I can see it now. There's a new service pit. Okay.
We're setting the engine to the next position after 2, 5, we have 3, 4. The valve order is 1, 5, 3, 6, 2, 4. Just like in passenger cars. And we keep adjusting.
Okay, so we're adjusting.
Young man, crank the engine.
How much did we earn here, or what does this service cost?
The cost of such a service, including cleaning the DPF, replacing the injectors, all fuel filters, the supply pump, in other words, a really comprehensive job so that the vehicle leaves ready to go, is close to 20,000 zlotys.
20,000 zlotys, and how much time did you spend on it, let's say, for the whole job?
Honestly, you need to spend about 8 hours on a vehicle like this. Your own time to get everything perfectly in order. Okay.
So the knowledge is what's most expensive here, and that's what you're paying for?
No, Wojtek, the parts are the most expensive.
Parts? So you're saying 20,000 includes all the parts we put into it? Yes, exactly. So not the 8 labor hours or your expertise, just the parts. What did we replace? The injectors, right? Were those the most expensive?
Yes, the injectors are the most expensive because in a truck, one injector can cost even 3,500 to 3,800 zlotys net.
Okay, so the prices are also huge compared to, for example, car injectors. Well, it also depends on the brand, of course. Here we have another vehicle. I wanted to ask you, because we also have a lot of viewers who might know about cars, but maybe they don't know about trucks, because when I look at it, I don't really know what's where. I know that the engine and the air filter are probably here, so tell our viewers what it looks like here.
Here we have the turbocharger, here's the VTG valve, which is responsible for adjusting the turbo vanes. By the way, here's a turbocharger from a passenger car that I took to show you the scale. This turbocharger is actually only slightly bigger than a hand, and compared to this one here, aha.
This is the turbocharger here.
Yes, here's the turbocharger. It starts here and ends here. Here we have the EGR valve, which is also much bigger than in a passenger car. Oil filters, which are incredibly easy to access compared to a passenger car, where you often have to take apart half the car or need some special tools just to unscrew it. In trucks, there's absolutely no problem with that.
And here is the air filter.
Yes, go ahead and replace it. Listen, unclip the pin. This is actually a ridiculously simple job. We take out the filter, unscrew the sides. Oh, exactly. You can throw it on the ground, see how it is on the side, more on the side. Drop it on its side like that. Oh, as you can see, it's a bit dirty. There's something to shake off. A cloth, you need to clean it around like this to get rid of the worst sand, because you don't want that getting into the new filter.
How many people here work on these trucks?
There are 7 of us working here, including the interns who really do work here. It's not like they just hide in the pits with a brush. Here the guys really work, we train them, and they also get paid like everyone else. No, not like from school, where they get just a few pennies. Here they get a normal salary. Okay, push it in. Yes. And now you push it in. Great. Is it okay now? It's okay.
I'm about to make some money today if I can see this well. Here you go.
Hook the claws on.
Here you go.
And in a moment we'll go to drain the oil.
Okay, so here I wanted to check, wait, this is the 5th wheel, right? Where the trailer hooks up. Yes, the trailer. Here's the fuel tank. What are their capacities?
Fuel tanks vary. Usually it's from about 420 to even over 900 liters.
And this is the clutch, right? A big disc here? Yes.
This is the clutch, and compared to a passenger car one, Jesus. Yeah, really.
Well, that's a difference.
Most of the time, actually, we get newer cars coming to us. Today, it just so happens that these are models from around 2015, but usually we work on cars from 2018 to 2023. The biggest issue with fuel systems is that manufacturers really mess things up.
Okay, so the newer the cars, the more often they're less durable.
Yes, definitely. Now we're going into the pit, draining the oil, lifting the cab up, because now there's going to be an oil splash. Oh, the license plate, right? Because I don't know.
What? Oops, no.
Relax, we can handle it. Or maybe not. Now we have to hold it for a moment. It's about to splash. All right, Wojtek, yes, we're lowering it gently. Grab it with both hands. Okay.
Fresh oil.
Yeah, fresh. I think this customer drove about 80,000 kilometers on this oil.
Do we change it every set number of kilometers, or how does it work?
It's best to change the oil every 50 to 60,000 kilometers at most. It's also good to change the fuel filter at least once in between. At the moment, for Euro 6 vehicles, the recommendation is every 120 to 150,000, and a new standard is coming in where they'll recommend every 200,000 and oil 0W16, which is basically like water.
So basically you'll be changing the engine along with the oil every 200,000?
That's probably the best way. Since the oil has been drained, it should be filled up now. The oil viscosity is 10W40, so grab the pump and start pumping. Here, right? Yes, here. We're pouring it in, and we need to make sure it's exactly 10 liters. We pour 4 of these cans into the engine.
Haha, pouring oil with a can is something else. So besides the knowledge that's hard to get to start a business like this, you can still start it. Let's say you need a garage that's definitely bigger than for passenger cars, and you need specialized knowledge for trucks.
Yes, there are plenty of people who, when they start in the truck mechanic business, simply start with a mobile service. They buy a van, get themselves a small cabinet, and simply drive to the customer when they break down on the road. Some don't work on the roads, for example, but just go to the customer's service location or to some kind of base. Yes, to a base, and they work on it at the customer's location.
That's also useful for people interested in automotive work who might want to repair more than just passenger cars. With today's episode partner, which is Fermo.pl, you can start your own business. All the information is in the description. And additionally, by entering the code KSDO, KSROBOTY, you'll get a 500 PLN voucher for online shopping, so it's worth it. And I heard that you will also be starting some new business now, right?
We're just launching our brand Expert, which will specialize in producing automotive chemicals and workshop chemicals, so you can take proper care of your cars. These will be flushes, fuel additives, mainly to clean and protect the system from those biofuels that tend to build up on... Wait, we didn't tighten this.
A little mess up, guys. We didn't tighten the plug at the bottom. I poured in 2 liters of oil and thought, something's leaking, hey, never mind. Good thing it wasn't 10, right?
Losses like that aren't really losses. Listen, moving on, we'll try to save these fuel systems. Like I mentioned before, the quality of the parts is poor, so we have to address that and help out a bit.
How old are you? You seem pretty?
I'm 22. 22 years old.
A pretty young man, and I guess you're probably one of the initiators of these new solutions.
Yes, we're trying to implement a lot of ideas. We're really working all the time, always thinking about keeping up with the times. Above all, we're actually technology leaders. We're constantly buying more computers. We have, I think, around 15, and we're always getting new equipment as well.
So before you, my dear viewers, write in the comments, oh, because Dad started the business, Dad bought it, Dad does everything, and the young guy just struts around or walks by. Well, it's definitely not like that. Yannick puts a lot of heart and energy into all of this, and that's why everything is developing so well. That's why I recommend working for yourself, starting your own business, and turning your passion and hobby into a business. You mentioned 7 employees. Are there 7 people here? Do you have enough people to work with? Are people eager to work, or is it difficult in this industry?
We really have very high productivity in our workshop. Things that take 3 days at other service centers, we are able to handle in 1 day. Because we have a very organized team. We've actually been working with our guys for over 10 years now.
So probably also in terms of money, on one hand you charge higher rates for replacing such parts, but people in the truck industry also earn more, right?
It's not exactly like that. Right now there's a crisis in transportation. This year, 1,500 companies have already closed in the first quarter. The reality in transportation is that payment terms are 90 days. Monthly refueling costs can be as high as 50,000, so that money doesn't come in regularly. Thank you. The oil has already been poured in. The guys have already put the engine back together, so the car is actually ready to start. But before that, the injectors need to be programmed, so choose PCI. Basically, this is a diagnostic computer, but you can also use it to assign different parts and handle various tasks. Parameter setup. You can tap there. There's injector coding and parameter adjustment.
What exactly is truck chip tuning? I noticed it's in your name and you mentioned it earlier.
Chip tuning is basically increasing the power. In trucks, we do it not to make them go faster, because there's a limiter at 90 kilometers per hour anyway, but with more engine power, the fuel consumption goes down. As a result, fuel use drops by up to 2 liters, with a record decrease of 3.8 liters per 100 kilometers. That's over a long distance.
Is it true that the engine's lifespan is even shorter than what the manufacturer recommends, or how does it really look?
In new cars, this really isn't used anymore, and engines are always made with a significant power reserve, because the engine that has 460 horsepower is exactly the same as the one with 510, it only differs slightly in terms of equipment. Okay.
You can do that and it works. How much does chip tuning cost?
It costs about 3,000. In the best cases, if you cover a lot of kilometers, this service can pay for itself within 2 months. We select the first injector modification. The injectors had to be photographed before being installed. Aha, you set up your phone.
And then you copy it. You just copy it.
From the beginning, without those numbers, just all of this. One time.
SGO.
5 minutes later. And we have the first injector assigned.
And what about the artificial intelligence? Do you see any drawbacks here?
That they will take your jobs?
Or maybe on the contrary, it helps you at work, let's say, I don't know, some kind of AI, or is it rather not used in a truck repair shop?
Actually, at this point, we can use artificial intelligence, for example, to identify gases for air conditioning. We use it to create various graphics, to create different processes. The only thing AI can help us with here is automation, like for example, automating invoices. AI won't take our jobs because someone still has to work on it, take care of it. The injector is programmed, now we click OK, and really, once again, we program the injector, finish, and then we go to start it up.
We came down here to the third truck that's in the workshop. A service similar to the first.
Yes, except these are actually two completely different systems. There was a system with injectors there, and here we have unit injectors, which use this spring to pump the fuel.
Okay, so a different system, so trucks, exactly, because that's what I wanted to ask earlier. Just like cars, they also differ, let's say, in engine design and some technical details, let's say.
Generally, there are 7 truck brands, but in practice there are 5, because Volvo and Renault are actually exactly the same, while the rest are definitely different. For example, MAN has a very complicated engine in terms of access. There are a lot of strange metal plates and...
Do you specialize in all the brands that exist? Yes. Was I supposed to help with something here? Right, I heard I was supposed to press something. Okay.
It looks very simple. You just put one hand over the other.
Follow the contact and proceed step by step. Okay.
And the next one, then.
I'm already a truck mechanic. You'll go one by one. And you, my dears, that's right, we're doing a little test. Write in the comments if you're a truck driver. Let's see how many viewers on the Do ROBOTY channel are truck drivers. We'll definitely read those comments, reply, and leave hearts. So now you have a little challenge. If you're a truck driver or sitting in a truck right now, please leave a comment. That would be great. I'm already your mechanic. Thanks. See you.
Tighten the pump. Yeah, press it. There you go. I got it.
Great. I did a pretty good job.
Now we wait a minute. Let the truck run for a bit. Let it draw in the fuel. And that's really it. The truck is ready after the injector repair. The DPF is installed. Now we're doing a regeneration on the catalytic converter. Another hour-long process.
And we're on our way. And we're on our way. Pay at the counter and we're on our way.
The car's been bled now. We can lower it, and that's it.
Okay, I see a lot of different parts here too. Some throttle bodies. What is this?
Yes, exactly. This is a throttle body. This is an EGR. Here we also have a VTG. These are refurbished parts. We are responding to the outrageous prices of parts that manufacturers impose. These are parts refurbished by us. For example, a new EGR costs over 9,000. Here it costs 2,900 zlotys.
And refurbishment?
Of course, with a warranty. Okay, you can meet us at gatherings, at various fairs. We showcase our refurbished parts with flushes so that the customer can touch and see that it's really high quality.
Do you have any advice for young people who maybe don't have a father with an existing business and have to start everything from scratch?
The most important thing is to start, because without that, you won't do anything. If you start, it's all about advertising, since that's the driving force of business these days. Let's assume.
Starting a business is one thing, earning money from it is another.
Exactly. Unfortunately, when you have your own business, you have to be a workaholic, because otherwise it just won't work. Working from 8 to 4 won't grow your business.
The job is done, finished. There are more trucks waiting here. But the question is, what's your advice as a young person, maybe for young drivers working in the trucking industry around Poland?
The most important thing is prevention. This isn't a passenger car where you can just call a tow truck, load it up, go to a parking lot and sort it out or fix it at the nearest workshop. So for young drivers, the most important thing is to take care of your rigs so you don't end up stuck on the side of the road.
I'll also take care of your service because I have a beautiful Do ROBOTY license plate. It's a collector's item, but I'm waiting for something from you. Because as the viewers know, on the Do ROBOTY channel, there always has to be a can in the episode, and there has to be money at the end of the episode for the work too. How much do you think my work today is worth?
Listen, you did the fuel system, which is a high-margin business. You really did a lot of good work, so I think 350 zlotys is fair. So let's load everything up nicely, one by one.
And how does it look in the industry, let's say for mechanics? What do their earnings depend on, and what does the job look like in practice?
You know, everything really depends on your experience. If an independent mechanic comes in who can really do a lot of things on his own, he can earn even 10 or 12,000. If he takes a job and handles the car from A to Z without our involvement, he can really make a lot of money.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, and I wish you even more. It's strange to say this in a service center, but I wish you even more customers. Well, someone drives, something breaks down, you fix it. That's how the business works. So I wish you more customers. I wish you more profitable customers so that everything goes well in your business. And you, my dear viewers of the Do ROBOTY channel, please subscribe to this channel. Leave a like for Janek and his company. All the links are in the description, including links to the companies.pl site as well. Take advantage of setting up your own business. More and more people are doing it. More and more people are setting it up, so it's worth it. And 500 PLN with the code KSDO KSD ROBOTY could also be within your reach. And remember, truck drivers, be sure to leave a comment if you watched this episode.